It is a beautiful Friday out here today. The sun is out, it's shining, and it's really quite warm for the time of year it is, so it's quite nice out here. You might be wondering what I'm wearing. Well, today, gentlemen and ladies, we are going to have some fun. This is a bulletproof vest. This is not, I wouldn't call this a tactical vest. I would call this more of a business vest. That's just me. But this is mine. I've had this for years. It's been kicking around my house, and it's time to bring it out and have some fun with it. What it is, I used to work for an armored truck company, and so we had one of these, and we wore it every day. And it's long past expiry date, or at least the Kevlar inside. And so I thought it'd be fun to bring it out and shoot it today. Before we do that, I want to show you what we're going to shoot it with. So we have... There's a story behind that rifle down there. That is a Winchester 308 featherweight rifle. That is a pre-64 rifle. So that's, it's getting old. And it's definitely one of those that has been passed down from generation to generation, and thereby has a very special place in my heart. So that came from my grandpa to my dad to myself. And so I like that very, very much. And I brought out, sorry you guys, you're just going to have to put up with a coughing. The Kimber TLE RL2, of course that's a 45 caliber. And a Smith & Wesson 686. My wife bought that for me as a Christmas present many, many years ago. Maybe, I don't know, not that long ago, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. We will be putting 357 through there today, not the 38. And last but not least, of course, I brought the Glock 27 out, and we'll shoot the vest with that as well. So we'll start with these small calibers, and then we'll go to the big old 308. And the Kevlar just goes inside. There's a front and a back. Pulling out the front now. And see, that's all it is, So you're sitting, you've got it wrapped around here. So you got your vitals covered here. It wraps around the sides a little bit, and then you've also got it in the back. You can see how flexible and pliable it is. A lot of people might think that it's one of those chink chink, you hit it and it's this hard steel or something, but no, it's really quite flexible. I mean, you can squish it up, and yeah, that's why they're very comfortable to wear, considering what they are. What we're going to do here is I'm going to set up about 7 yards away, and the reason I chose 7 yards is that's about the average distance for a self-defense shooting, I believe. I could be wrong, but what am I trying to prove with this? Absolutely nothing. Now I've got the still camera right here taking video. What I'm going to try and do is give you a first-person point of view here as best I can. We're just going to try to go right in the center, and we'll see what happens. So here we go. Here's shot number one. Let's go take a look at that. We'll dismount here. So now the question is, did that tear right through? No, it did not. Check it. Oh, that is cool. That is really cool. So, here, let me get it out of the shade. I think that must have... I think the pop bottle just split because of the force. Yeah, that kind of, guys, this isn't scientific, I get that, but that shows you the amount of force that's still hitting you in the chest. Because check it out. There's the bullet right there. See that? So there's the entry hole. Sorry, I'm getting excited and not paying attention to the camera. So there's the entry hole right there. And there's the bullet lodged inside. Wow, that is cool. So maybe I could even fish out that bullet and show you guys. And what we'll do too, after we're all done shooting, maybe I'll open this up, this top layer, and actually show you the Kevlar inside and see what it's done. I'm going to pull out the Leatherman Blast that my wife got me for Christmas, just this last Christmas. And I'm going to see if I can't pull this bullet right out, if I can get in there. So that's a 40 caliber. Oh, that is so cool. I'm going to keep this bullet too. Yeah, check it. Look at that. Oh, it's still warm too. Check that out. Nice. So this time, this is what we're shooting. Okay, here we go. This is awkward shooting like this too, guys. This is not a good stance. All right, you guys ready? Nice, nice. Go save some of my water here real quick. So you see that water shot up, but it didn't go through. So these don't appear to be damaged at all. Of course, that's that one that broke in the first time. Oh, look at that. You can actually see the imprint. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but you can kind of see the little grooves of the Kevlar. That was from the Glock 27 right there. Alright, oh yeah, you can see it already. That's tore through the back, or it tore open this back piece right here. The little warning instructions. Alright, let's take a look. Oh wow, look at that. That's interesting. That's really interesting. So there's the 40. Remember, I had to pull it out. This, sorry, I'm getting excited again. This is the 45. That didn't even penetrate. Look at that. There's the 40. And these are, this is cheap ammo, guys. This is just the white box. Nothing special. Turn this camera off. So, if that's the case, that shell ought to be around here somewhere. But yeah, look at that. That's really interesting. So again, there's a 40. That's a 45 right there. Really interesting. Now I wonder too if that had something to do with where it hit. It had a harder surface in the back, where this, you know, there was a little bit of give in the back, because I opened the tops of these bottles. So I didn't this one because it doesn't need it. It's broke open as it is. As far as the testing ground goes on these calibers, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not trying to prove any caliber one's stronger than the other. But man, this is interesting. This is fun. I'm having a ball. Instead of moving on to the 357, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the Glock 27 again and see what that does with the same exact setup as the Kimber 1911 45. So we're going to do the same thing. I just want to see if we get the same results. Again, not trying to prove anything, just out here having some fun, seeing what it does. All right. Let's go up and take a peek. Oh, what do you know? Look at that. So that went through again. So there's a 40. That's the first one. That's the second one. And the 40 bullet is right there. That's interesting. Nice big old 3 Smith & Wesson 357 Magnum. This is what we're going to be shooting right now. I'm going to do some shooting with this later too. I haven't shot this gun in a long time, so we've got it out. I might as well shoot it. So I'm going to load her completely up here. And here we go. Now this vest is rated up to one of these right here. So it's rated up to a 357 Magnum. It's not going to protect you against armor-piercing bullets. Those will penetrate, but everything else up to a 357 should protect you against that. This is going to be a big boom. We'll go center mass here. And oh man, all right. Get this tucked away here. Let's go see what it did. Let's go see what it did. So there doesn't appear to be any damage to the water bottles. Of course, remember this was the first one, and I took the tops off. So now let's take a look here. I can see where it hit in the back, I think. I mean, it looks to me like it hit right here, right there. Now that's a pretty raised, in fact, I think that bullet's in there, I can feel it. But you can see it tore through, looks like it tore through the back just a little bit. I don't know, can you see that big lump going down? I'll flip it over. Okay, so this one, oh, I'm glad we have a 40 for reference. Ooh, man, that tore through pretty good. Sorry guys, I'm not paying attention to the camera again. So there's our 40, that's our first 40. That's our second 40 with the Glock 27, 7 yards. This is a 45, Kimber 1911 TLE RL2, 7 yards. And this right here is the 357, and that was at 7 yards. This is all pretty cheap ammo, so nothing special with the ammo. This one could be interesting because of the, I hit right next to that 40, so it could be really weak in there and therefore penetrated a little more. So let's do this. I'm going to get set up again, and we'll shoot the other, and I'll try to maybe shoot it up in here somewhere where it hasn't received any damage yet. Okay. All right, we're going to go kind of that top right shoulder this time. All right, let's go take a look. Let's go take a look. There's the bullet right here. And let's turn it over. And I don't see any penetration. Not all the way through. It's tore up this back piece, of course. But underneath, there's nothing. Man, that would hurt. Oh, that would hurt. Going to use the Spyderco Manix 2 to do the dirty work here. And again, we'll just kind of, I'm going to try to make this as neat as possible, so we can retain that information on the outside. There we go, that's working. Oh, I just got a peek, that seems interesting. This has been a lot of fun. You know, there's a part of me that didn't want to come out and do this because I didn't want to ruin the vest. But then there's the other part of me that says, you know, when am I going to wear this again? I'm just out of that line of work. And the fact that this thing is so old. But I think we've proven that it's still effective. Okay, let's take a look, see what we've got here. Oops. Interesting. Really interesting. Alright. So here's underneath. So I'll give you a frame of reference again. So we have a 357 and 40 right next to each other here, and this 40 here. So let's just take a peek at those. So there's the 40 right there. So not a lot of damage. And then there is the 40 and 357 virtually in the same spot. I mean, those things were really, really close. So that's interesting that it took even a double shot there and held off the bullets. Now we'll come back and we'll look at the 45 and we'll look at the 357. So we'll peel these back. The 357 is obvious. See that? There's the 357. The 45, again, this is the 40s down here. The 45, I can't even see. That's interesting. Again, guys, I'm not doing this to prove anything. So don't read too much into this. Yeah, that's interesting. See that? Wow. That would have hurt, man. That would have hurt so bad. Yeah, that's really interesting. And the 40, the 45, I can barely see it. If anything, I think it's right here. Look at this. You know, this is interesting to you guys. This is really fascinating to me. So this is where we've been shooting, and I don't know if it caused this. I think it did. But this is the bulletproof material. Isn't that weird? I mean, just layer upon layer of this material stacked on top. And that stops, look at that. That stops a bullet. That's soft. I could almost use that as tinder. Well, not really. I think it'd melt, but look at that. Get in there without getting the shadow. Huh. There you go. Alright, let me give you an introduction here to my .308 rifle. This is a pre-64. I have the exact year, I believe, that it was made, but I have to research that again because I can't remember. But I do remember it's a pre-64, and those are kind of sought after Winchesters in this model. So it's really quite light. This is a Model 70 featherweight .308 Winchester, what it is, and it's really quite light, as the name implies. And sometimes if you've picked up some of these old guns from your grandpa or something, some of these old hunting rifles, man, they can be heavy beasts. This one, not the case. Bolt action, and guys, I haven't shot this in a long time. If I remember right, it'll hold 5 here, and nothing fancy on this. I don't have a scope or anything. It's just iron sights. The rear sight here flips up, and there's, if you can see it, there's the front sight. I don't know if you can see it that well, but anyways, this is yeah, this is my gun. It's something I'm kind of, you know, proud to own. Something passed down from my grandpa, whom I got along very well with. He's, you know, been gone for a long time, so. But yeah, I haven't had this out for a while, so this is kind of a little nostalgic for me. And what else can I tell you about it? He put this on, so everything is stock with the exception of this, and I haven't wanted to change it. You know, it came from my grandpa that way, and that's kind of the way I want to leave it. And I'll head back here a ways. We'll have some fun. Here we go. Let's see what happened. Now I removed the pop bottles from behind, so now this is just a straight vest. Oh yeah, so there it is right there, and there is the exit hole. Check that. That's gone clean through. So like it says, it's not meant to stop high-powered rifles. It's meant to stop pistols. So there you have it. Fun out shooting a Kevlar vest. Shooting it with a couple of 40 rounds there out of a Glock 27, a Kimber 1911 Corson 45, and a Smith & Wesson 357 round, both there and there. And last but not least, a .308 round. And man, that rifle round just tore through that like it was butter. Look at that. I mean, that exit hole is barely any bigger than that entry hole, meaning it didn't have time to expand at all. And isn't that interesting how it just flattened out those the pistol bullets? I've got a couple here I'm trying to dig out. So there's the couple of 40s right there. Got the 357s in my other pocket. But do you think this would do its job? I think so. Of course, I still wouldn't want to be behind it. All right, guys. Hope that was fun. It was certainly fun for me. Talk to you later.